All right, well now we're going to deal with this space. We're going to show you what we're going to do here. What we're going to do is, sometimes we can turn this into a side hallway, but I think what we're going to do is today we're going to show you what a recessed doorway looks like. These doors were perfectly flush on the wall. This one will not be the case. There'll actually be a recessed doorway in here, which a lot of our high school hallways have. Now, one thing I want to mention to you before I go any further, whenever you do your math for your bricks here, these will always be the same number. When you measure this and measure this divided by the bricks, they're always going to be the same. But this length and this length will not always be the same. More than likely, you will not be taking these lines to the corners of your paper. I'm probably not going to let you do that. So remember, just like I showed you in this example earlier, that the math you use here, when you measure from here to here and divide by the number of bricks, could be 12 or 13, maybe 14. It's going to be a different math than what you do here. But the result is going to be the same. And the reason why this is so steep is because this person is closer to the right wall. If you're in the middle of the hallway, these angles will be more equal, but even then they're probably not going to hit the exact same place on the page. So the math for this side and the math for this side will probably not be the same. But let's go ahead and deal with this hallway. What we're going to do is we're going to create a recessed hallway. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a horizontal line right here, a short one, not real deep, probably about here. So take your ruler and butt it up with the right side of your page, touch it to that corner, make sure you get it exactly even and flush with that piece of paper. You want to be as straight as you can, and draw a horizontal line about that far in. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing up here. Now what may help is actually measure how long of a line you made. I don't know how long yours is going to be. Mine is, well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and make it 2, so that way I don't have to think about it. It was 1.8, but I'm going to make it 2. But you know, it doesn't matter how long this one is, as long as when you make this line, this one's going to be the same. So you're going to take your ruler, you're going to butt it up, again with the right side of your page, take it to this top corner. I'm going to make it about 2 centimeters long. I'm going to go in and measure it. Here's my 0 mark. I'm almost there. Okay. Now, this is the same length and that's the same length. So all I should have to do is butt up my ruler and connect these 2 lines. And this is a little bit of the wall that's going in. Now, a neat little trick is I can now make all the brick lines here. They're all going to be flat, just like this line is. All going to be horizontal. So I just take my ruler, butt it up. And every single one of them is going to be flat and horizontal because we're facing this part of this wall head on. Make sure you butt up your ruler though. And when you're drawing yours, you're going to be using a reference. You're actually going to be looking at a real hallway. You won't be making one up like we are right now. But this is going to be really helpful. First time I ever tried to show students how to draw halls, I put them all out in the real hallway, said, hey, here's what we're going to do, and then, oh, it was a disaster, I'm not going to lie. We were able to create something, but boy, it took a long, long time. By doing this little practice sheet, it should make it a lot easier because you're going to have some understanding how to go about it. Let's make one more. Butt it up. If something was crooked, you can go back and fix it. That's what erasers are for. And I tell you what we're going to do. These are nice whole brick sizes, but what I'm going to do is, where this whole brick is, I'm going to make a line in the middle of each one of these. And I tell you what, instead of me just guessing, I'm going to measure it. I'm going to take this brick, it was 2, right? So since it's 2, I'm going to make a mark at the 1 centimeter mark, but you find out what half is on yours and make a mark at the halfway point. If yours isn't 2, that's fine. Just measure it, count how many millimeters it is, and do half of it. If it was 18, then it would be 9. Okay. Now all I'm going to do, I'm just going to make a line every other, and guess what? I don't have to butt up my ruler. Since I've made that measurement here and this measurement here, I don't have to butt up my ruler. All I have to do is make a mark every other line because I know that it's going to be even. Alright, now I'm going to have a wall here. It's supposed to be technically parallel to this wall, but remember, lines that we think of as parallel that are going away from us, they don't look parallel. It's going to have a slant to it. So how do we figure out the slant of this line? Well, we kind of use these brick lines to kind of guide us. So we kind of take our ruler and we kind of swing it out a little bit. We swing it between this brick and this brick. And by doing that, we can kind of get kind of close. And it's just a little higher than that brick line, barely. It almost looks like it runs into it, but it's a little higher. So that's what we did. We kind of faked it. But this line has to flow in between the bottom and top of a brick. Or if it was higher, it'd be between these two bricks. But it has to flow in between. It has to have the same angle. Same thing for the top. What we're going to do is we're going to use this brick line and this brick line. It's got to fall in there somewhere. So we take our ruler and we kind of go to the top here, and we kind of go back and forth until we get something kind of close. There we go. And now it's top. Now do you see it? This is like a recessed doorway. Now let's finish up our ceiling here. Right here, all you have to do is take your ruler, put it on your existing ceiling tile lines, and take it straight on in. Take it straight on in. And you can shade this just a little bit. Make it look like that. That's helpful. Now, we're going to make a door in this wall. Well, we want to make it the same height. Usually in buildings, doors are consistent heights. Notice that there's 2 bricks above these doors. Well, there's going to be 2 bricks above these doors. So that means that this brick and this brick are here. These bricks are going to go toward an imaginary vanishing point. But what we're going to do is, for these bricks, we're going to use these lines to kind of guide us, just like we did for the top of this one. So we take our ruler, and we're going to see it's going to be in between this line and this line. So we put our ruler on this line, and we kind of slide it back and forth until we get something kind of close. So there's that brick line. Okay, and then this brick line here is the second one. It's going to be in between this line and this one, because if it was kind of slant, it'd be here. It has to be in between these two. So we take it and we kind of slide it back and forth between these two, saying where would it hit? It'd be about right here. And there's the bricks above the door on this side. Okay, and I tell you what we're going to do. Let's put one line right here to break that up, and we can just make up where that is. And then in here, let's split this one in half. Let's split this one in half, and let's split this, not exactly half, but just make one here. Now it looks like there's a door right there. Now a lot of these doors in our high school, they're actually in the corner. There's actually a door frame there. We'll go ahead and put a little door frame in. Take our ruler, butt it up. Like so. And then remember, just like we did over here, we made this one a little wider and this one a little narrower by using this line as a guideline. It's not going to be perfectly parallel to this line, but kind of sort of. It's not going to be majorly off. It may even be almost literally parallel to it. Now, I may have exaggerated it, but it may not be that low. It probably should be a little higher. It's not like it's going for a long distance. And then, you know, if I want, and sometimes in these recessed doorways, you're not even going to be able to see much of the door at all. You may only see that much of the door, you know, depending on how you are in the hallway. But if I want to put in one of these long rectangular windows, and sometimes the window won't be visible, but I could pretend like the window's here. Let's see, one brick down. Again, using these brick lines to help me. And how many bricks was it over here? 1 brick, 2 brick, 3 bricks down. So 1, 2, 3. So this would be kind of the downward part of it. Using this brick line to kind of help me a little bit. And then I can go ahead and put on my vertical line here, butting up my ruler. Like so. And you know, you can even put a frame around the windows if you want to. And then as far as a door handle goes, a door handle, it would be the opposite of this. You would have an ellipse. It would go this way though. The horizontal lines would go this way. And then remember that the slant would be similar to these brick lines a little bit. And they would go this way little thickness added on. If you need to go back and refer to your other ones, it just remember that the slant of the door handle is always going to fall in line with the bricks that are going away from you. So now it looks like you've got a recessed doorway on that side of the hallway, and some of you guys will have that. Okay, let's do something really quick. What we're going to do is we're going to create a middle wall. In other words, this is going to be the true end of our hallway. Some of you guys, this would be the perfect end of your hallway, but we're going to pretend like it's not. So we're going to create a middle wall. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the exact measurements so that way you're not too confused. Let's come over about 7 millimeters. We'll put our 0 here, make a mark at a 7. And we'll do the same thing over here. I'm going to put this line at the 7 and make my mark at the 0. Okay? And then before I do anything with these lines, and in case you missed that, I just put my 7 right here and made my mark at the 0 because I think my camera may have froze on me there. I saw that out of the corner of my eye. I'm going to go ahead and connect these top 2 brick lines, just the top 2 only. And if I kept all my measurements right, these would be even. I won't even need to butt up my ruler any. There we go. That's good. Now what I want to do is either I can butt up my ruler and make this line perfectly vertical, or I can make a mark 7. I can make a mark from 7. I put my 7 right here on the line, make a mark at my 0, and now all I have to do is connect these dots. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect the bricks on the sides, not the middle, but on the sides. I'll come in, horizontal line, horizontal line. Same thing here. Now, for those of you who have a hallway like this, it is a little trickier, and there's probably a better way to do it. This worksheet is not going to work out perfectly for us. When I designed this, I didn't used to show how to do the back of the hallways. There's a easier, better way, and I may show that to you for those of you that will have to do something like that. But we'll just make the best of the situation right now. And then we'll go ahead and put the bricks in here. And what I'm going to suggest that we do, let's maybe start in the bottom of this one, and let's just find about the halfway point. And let's just go every other brick. Do the same thing over here. Every other brick. Make sure you butt up your ruler. Okay. And then I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure this brick. This brick was 7, right? So let's go with 7 millimeters of brick. I have no idea if that math is going to work out perfectly or not, but let's just try it. Okay, 7, 14, 21, and if you don't want to count by 7s, you can just slide your ruler down and make a mark at 7. That's okay. Yeah, mine's not going to work out perfect. It's going to be a little shy of 7, but I'm going to go ahead and go with that. And since it's such a small distance, it'd be better to butt up your ruler. For the sake of time, I'm going to kind of take a shortcut. And then what I'm going to do is here, I'm just going to find the middle. I'm going to eyeball the middle. If it was a real big brick, I would measure it and find the middle point, but I'm just going to eyeball it since it is so small. And then we'll come back in the very last part of the video and we'll show you what we're going to do in here to make this hallway look like it is going further back.